Namaste guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are watching an old video of Kalki Sharma where we was questioning India's achievements. So give me thumbs up and let's go.
Let's start our next story with a cartoon. It's from the New York Times. It shows two men sitting inside a room. It's called the Elite Space Club. One of them is reading a newspaper. The headline says, India's Mars mission. It is shown as a man with a cow. India is shown as a man with a cow knocking on the door. I'm sure you'll agree that this is racist. And in very poor
kind of
taste.
racist.
I'm sure you've seen the cartoon before, including on this show. We've been asking for an updated version. Will the New York Times publish something that is more in tune with reality?
Wow, this is really very racist.
We're not holding our breath for a response. Because the West is back to playing its old games, discrediting India's achievements and questioning India's motives. Let me lay out the facts first. Chandrayaan-3 is an Indian mission in space. It is the world's first to land on the moon's south pole. This is a fact.
Great.
As we speak, the Pragyan rover is out exploring, looking for traces of water. This too is a fact. Also a matter of pride for India. A big achievement for science and a gift to the world. But how have they responded? With skepticism, condescension, and their trademark hypocrisy. Listen to this.
As they spend their money on space probes, as they spend their money on the military, they spend their money
I
on
already
nuclear
understand
weapons.
what he is going
Still
to say.
half of the country lives below the poverty line. But the biggest injustice of all...
Yeah, you know, I just wanted to say that it is same like with Ambani's wedding. Also, people talked a lot that India spent a lot of money like on wedding, on different stuff. But I think that it is Indians' deals. But
that was Nigel Farage, the man who heralded Brexit, a politician known for his scandals and his hypocrisy. He says India is wasting money on space missions. Why? Because half of its population lives in poverty. The racism is shining through. Also the utter disconnect with reality. We are happy to share some facts with Mr. Farage. It may have slipped his notice that India is the world's 5th largest economy. It is in fact the United Kingdom. But it seems he can't get rid of his colonial mindset. I mean, how can India have aspirations? How can a former colony reach the moon before the so-called Great Britain? And since he's so keen on discussing priorities...
I think that this is the point, that India was a colony and now they just can't admit this fact that it can be the 5th economy in the world. They are very insecure.
We have a question for him. Why does Britain keep paying for the royal family? Their citizens cannot afford their electricity bills. Maybe help them instead of paying for the king and his retinue. Let me show you another bizarre comment. This is from a man called Patrick Christie. He calls himself a journalist, and this is what he said.
Congratulate India on landing on the dark side of the moon. I would also like to now invite India to return the £2.3 billion foreign aid money that we sent them between 2016 and 2021. We're also set to give them £57 million next year. But I think the British taxpayer should keep hold of that, don't you? We should not be giving money to countries with a space programme. As a rule, if you can afford to fire a rocket at the dark side of the moon, you shouldn't be coming to us with your hand out.
Whoa.
You heard him. If you can afford to fire a rocket, you shouldn't be coming to us with your hand out for foreign aid. Those were his words. But is India going to the UK for foreign aid? Let's have the answer from their own foreign office. This is what they said, and I'm quoting. Since 2015, the UK has given no financial aid to the government of India. Most of our funding now is focused on business investments, which help create new markets and jobs for the UK as well as India. This is what their foreign office has said. Christie's also mentioned a figure, £2.3 billion. What about that?
Yeah.
It's from a report by the UK aid spending watchdog ICAI, and Patrick Christie's clearly did not read the whole report, but we did it for him. The figure is not foreign aid. It includes investments and revenue through multilateral channels. The same report notes that this aid is a tool of UK foreign policy, basically a way to stay in New Delhi's good books. Also, no one is begging for it. But who will explain that to the West? In their mind, this is still the Raj. And these are comments that would have made Churchill happy. But we are happy to burst their bubble. This is the 21st century. India is a global power, not a former impoverished colony. In 2011, then Finance Minister of India, Pranab Mukherjee, told the UK that India does not need its aid. And London admitted that the aid had no impact on India's development. Now, India has landed on the moon, and British influencers say, return our aid money. If you're going down that road, let's start with reparations. Let's start with the colonial loot. Return that money first. And we have the bill. Some $45 trillion. That's what Britain looted from India between 1765 and 1938. And this is just an estimate. The actual figure could be much higher.
This is hilarious.
This 45 trillion is about 15 times Britain's GDP.
Whoa.
How about London returns this money first? Instead of discrediting India's achievement with juvenile conspiracy theories, look at this one now. It says, India faked the moon landing. What do you even say to this? I don't have a rebuttal, just this video. It shows the Pragyan rover rolling out of the lander, moving on the surface of the moon, leaving India's mark literally and creating history. We know all of this. We don't need validation from the West or cartoons from their press. But we must set the record straight. We need to take control of our stories, we say, else we'll be held hostage to narratives created by others. We'll be trapped in their version of our truth.
So guys, I want to say that I totally agree with Kalki Sharma, but it was an extremely racist act towards Indians, and how dare they to say something like that? I actually can't understand. They couldn't admit this fact that India was the first country to land on the south pole of the moon, and started just posting these stupid pictures on the internet, saying all these things that you'd better spend money on different things because like there is a high poverty in your country. What can I say? They just live really not in the 21st century. They still have a colonial mindset, and I hope that one day they will change their mind, but I'm not sure, guys. So please share your opinion about all these things in the comments. I will be very interested to read it. And guys, if you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and see you soon. Bye bye.